I got that Rehmanniae. There are many benefits that can be extracted, but before we start the medical benefit, we just like to make mention that there are two types of impurities as it relates to najasatul hissiyya, najasatul ainiyya, and najasatul hukmiyya. And in this session, we just want to concentrate on najasatul hukmiyya, and that is if something that is pure and impurities fall on it or get on it, then that thing becomes impure until the impurities are removed from it, which is described in this hadith. So the scholars, they differ as it relates to whether or not semen is pure or impure. But now, in this session, we just want to concentrate on some other benefits that can be extracted from this as it relates to the medical benefits. And that is, the first and the foremost, Sheikh Saleh Al-Fawzan made mention Al-Alam Kan Minzil Tabib, that the scholar is like a doctor and that he has to perform two things like the doctor has to perform. He has to recognize the illness and then he has to prescribe the proper dosage of that medication that he wants him to take in order for the imbalance to be restored back to its norm. So in looking at some of the medical benefits, the first and the foremost is that in this hadith there are ways for one to determine whether or not the person is healthy or unhealthy. And some of those ways is by way of the breath, the semen, or recognizing the imbalance of the urine and the stool, or the vaginal discharge, or the discharge that comes from the man. This is one way to determine the illness or the imbalance. And in this narration, you see that the Prophet ﷺ was intimate with his spouse, and then after that he went out to prayer, and that the semen was washed off, rubbed off, scraped off. And scraping it off, it was done when it was dry, and the usage of the nail. So the nail, for us, it means a lot because it determines the sickness of a person or whether or not the person is healthy, or the imbalance that may stem from the way their nail or nails are looking. So examining the actual wording, we have came up with the medical benefits that will be distracted, and that is many couples are or display in their marriage lack of libido or desire to be intimate, and that can be for many reasons, but we will discuss later inshallah. And we see that the Prophet ﷺ fulfilled his task, or he completed the action of intimacy, because we see that semen was on the garment. So here in this narration, he wasn't affected with premature ejaculation, nor was he infected with impotence. Nowhere in this narration there's mention that blood was in the semen, or the semen was cold watery semen, or he was tired and dizzy after the ejaculation, because we see that afterwards he went to the salat. And these are key things that I want to focus on, because some people experience these things, falling because they were up all night and not knowing why they become tired or dizzy after the ejaculation. Some people experience headaches immediately after the orgasm, and some people don't even have the ability to ejaculate. And the last thing that we like to discuss are the imbalances of the nails. So lack of libido, premature ejaculation, impotence, blood in the semen, cold watery semen, tiredness and dizziness after ejaculation, headache immediately after orgasm, inability to ejaculate, the imbalance of the nails. These are the things that we like to make mention as it relates to this section. So before we start, one has to know that there are three things that naturally comes from the male private parts, and that is urine, preseminal fluid, and semen. The first thing that is helpful to us is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a desire to be intimate with his spouse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And from the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He created from you, from yourselves, mates, that you may find tranquility, or that you may reside with her in tranquility, and that He have placed between both of your hearts love and affection. I got that Rehmanniae.